This week is Severe Weather Week in South Dakota and Minnesota, and all this week our First Alert Weather team is taking a deep dive into what you need to know to keep yourself and your family safe when it comes to severe weather in our region. Tonight's topic is weather alerts, watches, and warnings.
Hello everybody, it's Severe Weather Awareness Week in South Dakota, and every day during the 6:30 news we're going to do a little segment touching on some aspect of severe weather. And I want to thank AirServe for sponsoring these segments, first of all, and it'll be me, my colleague Tyler Roney, and Lexi Murley talking about some severe weather awareness. So today the topic is the difference between watches and warnings, whether it be a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning or a watch. So Tyler, if you want to talk about what is the difference between, well, first of all, talk about what a watch means.
Right, so, the way that we always like to look at it to make it a little more, you don't want to say appealing, so to speak, but kind of an easier way to think about it is when you have all the ingredients to something. You're thinking about baking a cake, you're thinking about making a taco. When you have all the ingredients in place, that's called a watch. So you're watching out. The ingredients are there for that severe weather threat to take place. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have that, storm take place, but again, it's possible we have the conditions there to make that happen. That's what a watch is. And
normally when a watch comes out, it's a pretty big area,
right?
So it doesn't mean there's going to be a severe thunderstorm or tornado everywhere in that watch box, but it means conditions are favorable in and close to the watch area. So let's say the watch goes up to Lincoln County, South Dakota, which means Minnehaha County is not in it. Well, just consider yourself in it in Minnehaha County because you're close enough. So Lexi, we talked about watches. What does a warning mean, whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning?
Yeah, the thing about watches and warnings, you want to be prepared, of course. Warnings is more so when you want to take action. Warnings are really in that smaller box. Sometimes it is in a watch, sometimes it doesn't have to be, and whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning, meaning either 60+ mph wind gusts or some significant hail, or a tornado warning, that's either when there is a tornado on the ground or there is a severe thunderstorm that has the possibility of producing a tornado. That's really when you want to take action in those types of situations. Make sure you're away from any windows on the lowest level of your home, or just really anything that is stable that you can take shelter in.
And when we have watches issued here at Dakota News Now, we're going to crawl that information across the bottom of the screen constantly. Now, if it's a significant severe thunderstorm warning, by that we mean like 80-mile-an-hour winds or greater, we're going to break in and probably talk about that. But normally we just let the crawl do the speaking with severe thunderstorm warnings. With tornado warnings, we're going to break in for every one of those.
Right.
And it kind of depends on, the situation. Not all tornadoes are the same. Yes, they're scary, but you have the EF scale. You have EF 0 to EF 5. So let's say it's an EF 0 or just a small tornado in rural areas. We'll break in probably a minute or two, talk about what's going on, go back to programming, and then break back in when there's more information coming in.
Right.
But if it's a larger tornado, we're going to stay on for a longer period of time.
Yeah, and the one thing to keep in mind too, and it's a really good time to review, is know where your county is, where you live at. That's very important, because some people don't realize that, and if you're new to the area, something like that, it's very important to know that information.
Not even just your county, but what part of your county are in, because some of our counties are pretty big, whether you're on the northwest side, the northeast side, the south side. It does make a really big difference, especially when we are talking about those tornadoes taking a pretty direct path sometimes.
Okay, so let's recap and talk about the difference between watches and warnings. When there's a watch, it means be prepared because conditions are favorable for the formation of severe thunderstorms or tornadoes. So this graphic applies to tornado warnings, but it also applies to severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, a warning means you need to take action. We do have either a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning happening, and also we have something called a tornado emergency, and that means there's a severe threat to human life and catastrophic damage, and that usually happens when the tornadoes are really big. Thankfully, on the EF scale, most of those are on the low end of the scale, but if you get those, F3, F4, F5, we're gonna, that's when we have those tornado emergencies.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so coming up tomorrow on our severe weather awareness segment, we're going to talk about what to do when there is a warning issued.